We're here today. We're in, where are we?
Trumpeton Meadows.
Trumpeton Meadows in Cambridge, and I'm here with my ex-brother-in-law, and he's just got into photography, and obviously you guys know I do a lot of photography, and we're just going to see what he thinks of my gear. He's going to use my gear, I'm going to use his gear, and we're going to see what kind of results we can get. I don't know how this is going to work out. This is kind of, we've just met up and we said, yeah, we're going to try that. So let's see how it goes. What you got there?
I've got the kit lens for the Nikon.
We've got Nikon DX 18-55, and we've got a Nikon DX 55-200. Both going to be on the, what is this, Nikon D30-100, which is a DSLR, not mirrorless here, and we have a 1.5 times crop, so it'll make them 18-55 times 1.5 and so on and so forth. Okay, you got anything else there?
No, that's it.
Let's see what we've got. I had to leave a couple of cameras at home because it was too much to carry, but we've got the RX10 Mark IV, which is a 2.7 times crop camera. We've got from 24 all the way up to 600 millimeters.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah. And then we've got Nikon Z8 full frame camera with the 105 millimeter macro. So that's all Z kit there. What do you think of that? That's a full frame camera. Right, so I've got the Z9, which is the big brother to this.
Right.
Which has the full battery that finishes about here. Yeah, and it weighs probably double that. Yeah, that's just the body.
That's a fair amount of weight. I mean, compared to this.
Yeah.
I thought this was heavy when I put that lens on compared to the kit lens, but that is like, I'll have to be going to the gym, I think.
We're not even, we're into small stuff here right now. Okay. Yeah.
It's going to get worse.
Yeah. And I've sold all my big stuff. Right. Well, this is another small one, I would say. So this is what a lot of people are starting to go to, because people are starting to worry about weight a lot when it comes to systems now. So we have the OM1 Mark II with the 90mm, I don't even know how to say this, I never know how to say it, Mzuiko f3.5. What do you think of that one?
Like that. Yeah, lighter.
A lot of people love this system. It's lighter, and they use a lot of computational photography. So they're more on although it's a 2 times crop system, so it's a bigger crop than your one. So really, this lens is now 180mm,
right?
Not a 90 focal length. They use a lot of, they're using a lot of technology to get you the shot. So this has got pre-capture on it. So I've got it set on, I think it'll take at the moment about 30 shots before you press the trigger. So if you hold your finger on the focus button, while it's focusing, it's pre-recording 30 shots.
Right.
So if you want action to happen, if you're waiting for action to happen, it would have already taken 30 shots once you press that. So it's almost like you're going back in time. It's like the Matrix or something. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that's what's good. Some of the newer, this has got pre-capture on it, but it's only got it in JPEG. This has got it in full RAW.
Right.
And this can shoot up to some silly amount of shots as well. Like you can get up to about 50 shots per second. Yeah.
I think you can get 3 on mine.
Yeah, I don't use it in anything like that. Is it free?
I think it's free.
This is going to be good. This shoots at 20 frames a second. This one shoots at 20 frames a second.
Right.
Yeah? This is not a massive lens by any stretch, but to him this is going to be massive. He's probably never seen a lens this big. This is quite
a telescope.
This is quite small. When it comes to telephoto lens, this is actually small. Yeah, for a birding lens, it's a 1 to 400mm full frame lens.
Right.
When you put that on a crop camera, it does the same 1.5 times. We've also got an extender on here. If we want, in good light, we can use it because it takes it from an f. Do you understand f-stops?
You were teaching me about f-stops, yeah.
Okay.
So the lower the number, the more light it lets in.
More light it lets in, the wider the aperture. When we talk about aperture, The lower that number is, the bigger that hole gets.
Yeah.
Yeah, which obviously lets more light in. But if we stop down the aperture, we can get sharper shots sometimes. Not all the time, but that's the theory.
Right.
Yeah. By putting this on, it takes it from a 5.6. We lose one stop of light, so we go to f8. It's not going to make any sense to you until you actually know. Yeah. But
we'll get there
now,
in the end.
yeah. So now we've got 1.4 times the optical length of that on a full frame.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know what that actually works out. But, so obviously at 100 it would be 140. Oh yeah, to 560. Got to start doing maths. Yeah, it will take it to 560 millimeters. So now we've got in this relatively small package. I know you're going to think it's big because you're holding that. No, I'm saying you're holding that.
Yeah.
And you're thinking that looks big without even a camera on it, but that is actually quite small.
Right. Okay.
I had a 800 millimeter before, and the lens was from the end of that was probably about this big. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put a camera on that so you can feel the difference. So this is the 100mm lens. Now you know why I sat on the bench, yeah? Because this would have just been, make sure your camera's switched off. There you go. So that probably feels heavy.
It does, yeah.
It is absolutely light as a full frame setup, really.
Right, okay.
That is relative, not going to say absolutely light, it's relatively light compared to some of the bigger, if you go to a 600mm f4 or a 400mm f2.8, I mean the 400 f2.8 is about that wide, and it's like this length, maybe, yeah.
And you take this out all day?
What do you mean?
Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah. Just
but I didn't bring any for some reason. But normally you have it on strap. You have it over your shoulder on strap. I was thinking, oh, we won't need them, and then I didn't think about this lens. It's the only thing I didn't think about. But yeah, what weapon would you like to use?
What would you recommend?
What do you want to shoot?
Birds, please. This one. Okay, we'll go for this one then.
Even though we've got a lot of light, I think you're probably best off trying it without the converter first, because it's a bit too much length for you to get used to straight away.
Right.
Without that teleconverter on it, it should pretty much be what you've got here through the viewfinder.
Yeah.
But then this has 46 megapixels and it's full frame, so when you crop in, you can keep all that quality.
Yeah.
While still cropping in it, or you'll see it, it'll be really sharp, and you'll think, oh, but I need to. You can really crop with full frame, and you can really crop because of the megapixels. I don't know what this is, probably 14 megapixels.
Yeah.
Okay. But the difference with this, like I said, is because this is a 300, really it's 450 focal length. So it's actually, through the viewfinder, should actually look slightly bigger than that. But conversely, because this is a full frame camera, the viewfinder is bigger anyway. It's going to be swings and roundabouts today. So the difference between mirrorless and DSLR is you can see a true interpretation of what you're shooting before you shoot. So that you don't have to, it takes away that, oh, is it too dark, is it too light? What you see through there is what you're shooting, which is why a lot of people prefer mirrorless. Plus there are other advantages. Press that OK button while you're holding that, and it will reset that dot in the middle. Right. If you want to change the actual focus mode, if you think I don't like this one, this will be the best when there's like a bird flying or something like that, and it's in open sky. Say it goes in that bush and it's struggling in that bush. Right? This button here, I'll tell you if you need it later. So what it does, you look through. So I hold that button. So you're not having to yeah, so the front button, you'll see it change cycle through 3 different modes. See it?
Oh no, I've turned the camera off. That's a good start.
You'll have a square box that is customizable, so you can change the size of that box.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah. There's one with a dot.
Yeah.
A large one with a dot.
Yeah. And then
so
you can have any 3 of those at any time.
Right.
You can change that if you want, if you find out later, well, actually I don't like these tracking modes, because these are tracking.
Right.
It's so that anything it recognises in that goes inside that box it will start following it around that screen, which is why the big screen is good. Yeah, I would say one of the most important things with any part of photography is the lens you use. If you look at not professional astrophotographers, but you know, people that are really into it, the thing they look for is sharpness and less coma, and obviously the width of the lens, how wide it shoots. But if you get coma, it starts, like you're saying, you start getting smudges.
Yeah.
The stars around the edge especially, they'll become elongated instead of really pin sharp. So that's where it's worth investing your money into, definitely into the lens. And that's with kind of any form of photography. Your lens is going to give your camera the feedback, basically.
Right.
You know? So it costs money, but it is worth investing in a good lens. Bodies, nowadays, yes and no. With what I do, obviously I want speed, so that does count a lot for what I'm buying, you know. So what do you think of the camera so far? How are you finding it?
I'm finding it hard to find the subject with this lens.
Which is weird, because this has actually got this has got a longer focal length than that.
Right.
So you'd think you'd actually find this one hard.
No, I find that easy.
easy.
Yeah. I think I was just so used to, I have to say, being able to look over the top of the camera and know where it's going to be. It was almost like lining it up and then knowing where it's going to be when I look through the eyeballs.
Yeah, because that is literally how you shoot. Yeah. You can keep both eyes open.
Okay.
So that as you're looking, then you're working out where your scene is. I'm not very good at using both eyes. I always automatically, because I know my camera.
Yeah.
I automatically go and start shutting. Did I just then? I don't even know. Maybe I'm not, because I'm trying to get used to this one. No, I think I know where it is anyway. I think because I'm so used to shooting different lenses as well. What you'll find with mirrorless as well is you don't have to chimp. Please, you don't have to look at your picture all the time, because you know what you're taking already. You can look afterwards. Oh my god, these are mayflies.
Yeah, loads of it.
Oh my god! Oh my god! The hunt for the mayflies is back on, everyone. There are possibly 15 mayflies here dancing. I think I'm gonna, sorry to say, have to switch lenses and camera, because I can't be missing the mayflies. I'm sorry. You know they're my unicorns, and I know everyone else sees them. I just don't seem to see them. Wow, there's crap loads here. There was maybe a silly one the other day. A little bit later, I might have to nick that off you, because I need to put the other lens on. I can't believe how many are here.
Oh, there's tons down by the river as well. They hatch in the water, don't they?
Yeah. Oi. Struggling. It's exactly what happened the other day. I'm struggling again. What I'm doing now, focus, see something that's nearly in line with it.
Yeah.
Coming closer and closer.
They like to land on you.
Do they?
Yeah, so I had them land on me when I was on dog walk.
Oh, that's how you...
Picture, yeah. It landed on me, yeah.
I don't want it landing on me, but... As you can see, sky's just got darker, so your actual shot will...
Yeah, it just went up. I think I've gone up to 4,000.
That's the thing, lower your shutter speed. You don't need to keep going up with the ISO.
To bring the shutter speed down a bit.
Yeah.
Which is front button, right? Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. You can come down with the ISO a bit then.
Yeah.
And that's,
but like I said, anything you're doing now is changing your brightness.
Yeah.
But you're in control of it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
sitting on the twig?
This one.
That's what I was waiting for. I clearly have more patience.
I'm like, yeah, got me flying.
I was thinking, come on.
Because I've just taken it on the OM. Don't know if I can find the same again. Ooh. But there are damselflies attacking these other damselflies because they're mating in midair. Where have they gone? There was a mating pair here somewhere. I would have nicked the Nikon back off Nicky. Nikon Nicky. Oh, that's a wicked name for him. Nikon Nicky. But he's having so much fun over there. Can't do it. Can't do it to him. He's loving it. Look at him. He's loving life. Nikon Nicky. Take a picture of Nikon Nicky. He's right in there. He said he preferred the insects, but I think the birds. But look at him. He's stalking the insects. He's stalking them. Let's go and get some better pictures of Nikon Nicky. He's chimping right now. I haven't got that many shots left. I've got 166 shots left. And Nikon Nicky, he's loving it. Look at him. He's loving life. We've just got a nickname for you. Nikon Nicky.
Cheers, mate. With the stick.
Taking loads of shots of you. Nikon Nicky.
Oh, yeah.
This is your card as well, so you don't.
Trying to get the butterfly and fly. That's what I mean. It's a lot harder than what you think, isn't it? To get even just an insect.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you're trying to focus on it. But it's,
And
like,
it's all over the place.
it's all over the place,
When you know, if it's, say you've got one here and
Yeah.
one's trying to mate with it,
yeah.
that's the best time to get them because it will just keep bouncing off it. So all you do is focus on that one and
Yeah.
eventually that other one will come into focus. Just keep shooting.
Keep shooting.
Yeah.
So it was
I've just got some wicked shots of on the other camera though, and it's just, and then I thought, why not get them on this one? Because it would have been an easy way to get it. Two damselflies mating, and exactly what's just been happening with the other ones. They've just been coming onto, and they've made the love heart shape, and they've come on the back. So I've got some wicked shots in there. But then
Brilliant.
Wrong camera. So, Nikon Nicky. What's been your experience today?
Well, I know the first thing, bring sun cream.
Do you want to show the audience your back? Jeez, I'm colourblind that I can see that. Anyway, that's by the by. We don't care about Nicky's back. What did you think? What was your favourite lens to use?
I think for me at this stage, it's going to be this one. It was a lot easier to use.
So this is just a bridge camera. This is nothing special. Well, it is. It's a special bridge camera, but compared to the cost of this altogether is around about 6,000 plus. That is under 2,000. And do you think you got better shots like that, or
We'll have to
you
find
just
out.
found it easier?
I found it easier to use. It was definitely easier to operate. I found it easier to get things in the viewfinder with this one, from being able to see them and then up to the eye. With that one, I found it a lot harder.
Oh wow!
So like I was looking for, and then I was really looking in where have they gone.
And had you zoomed it right out to 600 as well?
Yeah, it was zoomed right out. It was much easier for me to
And that
pick
was
them
only
up.
at 400.
Yeah.
So that shows a lot. What did you think of the weight of this one compared to that one?
I think this is a lot easier to carry. That is
They weigh the
very
same.
heavy. Yeah, that is difficult. It is heavy. I found that a lot harder to use. It's finding the subject. That's the thing. That's the thing I struggled with. I think when we changed the manual, that wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
I think finding the buttons on here was a bit easier. It's just learning.
Yeah.
It's just learning the platform.
Yeah, I think as a
using.
beginner, that is so much easier to use.
Definitely.
And if you just wanted to, you could take that anywhere.
Yeah.
Holidays, whatever, and it's just there. It's the best camera is the one you've always got with you. You know that.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter about all of this crap. It didn't actually get a chance to use this, but put that one down a sec.
for
now
another
you've been
day.
using those other two, how does that feel in the hand?
It's incredibly light.
Does that feel lighter than that
Yes,
one?
it does. Yeah. Is it lighter?
Probably, yeah.
It does feel lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that, I would say, I mean, it's called a pro. This is a pro lens. It's a pro body. I would call it a pro setup, really. To be honest, all... Don't! It's happened again, peeps. It's happened again. It blew over. He fell over. Anyway, got what I was saying. Camera fell. It's all gone out my head. Right now,
How did you
my
get on?
experience. I had to put this down after a while. I got some still shots of insects and that. There is no way in hell I was getting anything flying with this, and the reason for that is as you focus, it will only take a picture once it's focused. There must be something in the menu so that I can shoot whenever I want, but it would only do it when something was in focus. So I don't know. It was very frustrating. It was all right once I was getting shots of things. I got lots of shots of Nick. Got lots of, like I said, sitting shots. Tried to get bird in flight. That was a no-go. Now I know why Nick couldn't get it in flight.
You feel my pain there?
Yeah, I feel your pain. But other than that, it's not a bad... It was a bit...
It's noisy.
It's noisy. It wasn't too bad, to be honest. I actually enjoyed using it. Maybe just because it's something different than what I do. I don't know if it's that. And also, it's a DSLR. It's not just... It's a different type of shooting. I don't know. You have to think a little bit more. You're going to blow over again. You better not. It's a different type of shooting. As you can see, when you look through there, things just come into focus.
Yeah,
don't they?
yeah.
And if you, once you realise what it tries to hit, that's when it becomes easier. Because if you're just thinking, oh, it's just shooting at nothing,
Yeah.
it would be a mind blowing.
Yeah, and to see the scene as well.
To see, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So you know, like you said, we know exactly what we're getting.
Yeah.
Once we take the shot. That must have taken some time to get used to, though.
Yeah, that was a bit strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, why's it gone dark?
But that is because we switched him onto full manual during this as well, because I don't know how to shoot shutter priority on that and keep the brightness level. I didn't understand it. So because he shot manual before, he shoots manual for astrophotography, decided to go for that. And how did you find that?
Yeah, it was okay. Yeah. I mean, it just takes practice on the different ones you're on. Because I'm so used to mine now.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's not been long that I've been doing this. It's only a couple of months.
And you know what? I was surprised to see what you were getting, how you were looking at it. You've walked around, which I wasn't doing. I was staying in the same place because I was looking at the mayflies.
Yeah.
And I tend to do that as well, especially because I'm only into insects. I stay in one area for a session.
Yeah.
Because then you pick up patterns. The same as I suppose birds, you are picking up patterns, but there's a much wider area that they go to and that. So I just prefer plotting up. That session is in one place. I'm not wasting time walking around.
Yeah.
Because that does take a lot of time. You don't realise it. You think, oh my God, 3, 4, 5 hours is gone. Probably the same just sitting here, but at least I wasn't walking. I was just seeing stuff, shooting, and that was it. To be honest, because again, I'm doing the same as I've been doing for the past few months, shooting with loads of different cameras, I'm not getting what I could have got.
And that's where the battery ran out in the field. So we had no more battery to film outside. But it doesn't really matter because we were pretty much at the end of that anyway. I learned a lot from that. One thing is, I know nothing about the old Nikon menus, and I should have really... I did try and look through that to find where that thing was. Couldn't find it. I've even asked people afterwards. Still couldn't find it. But anyway, I was going to do this myself anyway, and I went out and bought this bit of kit, which is the Canon 7D Original Mark 1, and it's got a kit lens on it, and 18 to 135. And I bought this for £300. I don't know what that is in US, maybe $450, something like that. And I'm going to try and get insects in flight with this, because I know the older Canon system better than I know the older Nikon system. So this cheap bit of kit, I'm going to try my best and see what I can get with this. Going to go out by myself on a day and try and shoot something. If I find it impossible with this, I'm bringing a couple of other bits that are still cheap just to help with the process. I've brought the Canon 12mm EF extension tube just in case, and I'll be bringing the EF life size converter, but this doesn't work with DSLRs. This is why I wanted to use it back in the day with a DSLR, but it doesn't really work with DSLRs. It pulses a lot, so I'll be trying that, but I don't know. Again, cheap. And then the Sigma 150mm that I've had for years now, gonna use this same one and also see what I can get with that. This does work on there, it's a Canon mount anyway, so I've seen what pictures I get with the Nikon Z9 and 8 and the Canon R5 with this lens. So we'll see what I can do with this here. Like I said, 300. You can pick these up for about £200 or less now, this lens. And this about £50 and this about £40. So let's see. Nicky beat my backside with the stuff that he got. I got still images. I'm not even going to bother posting them. They were nice still images. To be honest, they're all on Nicky's card and we don't live next to each other, so I can't get them off him, but it doesn't really matter because they were just still images. You know me, I'm not into still images. So I'm going to see if I can get images in flight with this camera and lens combo. This is an 18 megapixel camera. I think it was released in 2009 or something like that, 2008, 2009. So we'll see what we can do. Just because I take a lot of photos and I do get a lot of good images, once I put the good gear into Nicky's hand, he beat my backside. So I always say it's not about gear, but in that case it definitely was about gear, because like I said, I couldn't shoot without the subject being in focus, and for me to be able to shoot an insect in flight, I need to be able to know as soon as I press my finger on that button it's going to shoot. So I do wait for it to be in focus, but I'm doing it as a sequential kind of thing. I'm waiting for that moment and bang, that's how I hit it. And I couldn't do it with that Nikon. I've looked at this already. I'm pretty sure even like, so it's got the cap on now. Oh, it's not switched on. Yeah, so even with the cap, so we don't need to worry about focusing on that one. So we're going to be able to do it. These are the older compact flash cards. I'm hoping I can plug something in and put it to my computer. This should be a lot of fun. This wasn't a flagship, but it was the best crop sensor back in the day, the 7D. It got surpassed many, many times by different cameras, but hopefully I'll enjoy shooting with this, and hopefully I can put to bed that I'm not as bad as I think I am and I can actually shoot with older gear. Because it's one of the annoying things to hear all the time is you're only getting shots like that because you've got the best, most expensive gear. Now back in the day this probably would have been quite expensive, but now like I said, lens and camera, £300, and it wasn't, I mean, compared to what we've got now, this was quite a low level of gear, but it, like I said, it was the good gear back in the day. So we will try, see what we can get. I'll see you on the next one. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you get any more of my videos when they come up. Thanks.